Hey guys, good morning. We're here with Motivational Monday. Good morning. Hi everyone. Good morning. Come on in. We're just going to be on just for a couple minutes, as we always do on Monday morning. Just kind of sharing a little bit with you guys. Just kind of sharing with you guys a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of thought process, a little bit of something to kind of get your Mondays started, get your week started. Come on in, take a seat, get your coffee. All right, so we just have some, let me just share it here real quick. Sorry, guys. We're going to be rather quick today. So if you have a couple minutes, come on in, hang out with us. Say hello when you come on in. Good morning. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm sorry, the lighting's a little bit on today. My eyes keep acting up, and so I keep having to put my glasses on instead of my contacts, and I'm so not used to wearing my glasses. It's been a while. So, hey, good morning. Good morning. Hi, guys. Good morning. Come on in. So the topic, I don't know if you guys saw the little clip I made, the Motivational Monday announcement clip that I made. So today we're going to be talking about being the woman that you needed as a girl. Okay. Food for thought. Being a woman you needed as a girl. And guys, remember Motivational Monday is interactive. You guys can always be interactive. But you know, I saw this and I was like, whoa, like being the woman you needed as a little girl. So what are those things that you needed as a little girl from the women in your life, right? So not just mom, right? Not just mom. We're not comparing moms here, but in general, like what things did you need from other women in your life in order to feel like you got what you needed as a little girl? So I remember kind of looking at these women that were always happy and were always smiling. Those were huge things for me, happiness and smiling. Just seeing women who were smiling and were content and were excited about what was going on in their life, and they felt blessed. Saying I'm blessed is such a common thing now, but truly, feeling that way, feeling like you're blessed, feeling like you have things in your life that you're proud of, and that it's just favor. What are some things that you guys thought that you needed from another woman as you were growing as a little girl? For me, it was also successful. I wanted to see women that were thriving. Not just in regards to finances, but in regards to they were settled down, they knew what they were doing, they had a career, not just a job. There's a difference between having a job and having a career, and I wanted that. I wanted someone who was doing something that they loved and not just having a job. I spent a good percentage of my childhood helping my mom at her jobs, and just kind of seeing everyone else at these places that we would go to, and whether that was because we were doing cleaning or whether that was because we were taking care of somebody, which now there's like home health, but like it wasn't even like that before. It was just, yeah, hey, can you take care of so-and-so for me while I go do whatever? and just always seeing these houses and seeing these people and seeing the way that they lived and the different kind of way that they lived. I always looked up and I was like, I want to do something like this. I want to be someone like this. And having a career was a big thing for me. Not just having a job, not just having ends meet, but having something that I can give my kids as a goal, something that I can give my kids as something to reach for or reach higher. I've told my girls as their girls, now 13 and 15, which has happened way too fast. I've told them, what are these things that you want to do with your life? And they're typical high schoolers. So that, some days they're like, yep, I got it all down. It's a plan, blah, blah, blah. And then there's other days where they're like, I don't know. Maybe not. And so just kind of, are you being that woman that you longed to be or longed to see as a little girl? Like, are you fulfilling what you wanted when you were little and you looked up to all these other women? What are the things that you remember wanting to be in them? Maybe to some it was financial. I actually had somebody the other day who donated a bag of shoes to us, like a ginormous bag of shoes, to the nonprofit. And I was looking at these shoes and they're amazing, like beautiful shoes. And what the story that I was told along with the big bag of shoes was, and I mean like 35 pairs of shoes. The story that I was told was, well, this woman, when she was little, she could never, or, when she was growing up as becoming a young lady, there was a point in her life where she struggled and she couldn't afford to buy the shoes that she wanted. Not just have shoes, she had shoes, but she couldn't afford to buy the ones that she wanted, the ones that fit her style. And she couldn't afford a way to earn those or get those or buy those. And so once she got to a point in her career where she was financially stable and she was able to buy these shoes, then she went all the way and was buying a large amount of shoes just because she could, because that was kind of what she had longed for. And so that's just like a little example. And, for me, I know that for me, one of the big things, and I know I'm not being promotional here, I'm just being real. One of the big things that interested me in paparazzi was, for me, I like bling. I love huge. I love shiny. I love sparkly. That's just me. Like, honestly, let me just show you. This is me. Okay. Pink, glitter, princessy. I could truly walk around with a tiara if I was allowed to. I would walk around with a big, huge necklace. That is who I am. And so for me, the good morning, thank you for joining. For me, one of the big things that kind of has to do with this, but one of the big things that motivated me to join paparazzi was the being able to get what I wanted, not because the bling makes me happy, because the bling, makes me better or a better person or a nicer person. I hope to think that I am those things, but that it allows me to be me, in regards to being dressed up, in regards to being, I don't know. I think there's like a bad connotation with glamorous, but that's what I like. I like glitter. I like bling. I like pink. I like shiny. I like roses. That's who I always wanted to be. And so for a very, very, very long time, I couldn't afford that. I couldn't afford to have bling. I couldn't afford to have shiny glitter, pink. Like, it was like whatever was handed down to me was what I had. And I loved it and I appreciated it. And like that lady said, that donated those shoes to us, like she said, I had shoes. It's not that I didn't have shoes. I had shoes. But I didn't have the shoes I wanted. I didn't have the shoes that made me me. I didn't have the shoes that showed my style. And so, what are you doing? Or are you, better said, are you that woman that you needed as a girl? Are you smiling? Are you positive? Are you living the way that you saw these women living as a little girl and fulfilling that? Or have you given up on that? Are you being that woman to the next generation There's so many things here that we can talk about. Are you being that woman to the next generation and sharing, and not just, I think a lot of times as adults, we get so caught up in our adult life, hashtag adult life. But we get so caught up in our adult life that we don't pay attention to those that are around us that are smaller or younger, and just keep going. What are you doing to be that woman to that little girl, the little girls in your life, whether that be your daughter or the neighborhood or your friends or your daughter's friends? I love being that to little girls. I was actually recently asked to be somebody's godmother. And that was actually one of the things that she asked me, and she's a teenager. I'm just unhooking my laptop here. She's a teenager, and she asked me if I would be willing to be her godmother because she wants someone to have. And we can make such a big difference by being that woman that these little girls need. Being that woman and saying, hey, you're strong, you're beautiful, just the way you are. I remember growing up and just being so self-conscious about me and my body, and being too skinny or being too smart or always raising my hand. I was even teased about it in nursing school as an adult, always raising your hand and always saying a disclaimer for educational purposes. Like, that's just who I am. But, I remember as a little girl, not feeling beautiful and not feeling like I had it all together and feeling like I was in the middle of a whirlwind. Are we that aha moment for a little girl or some little girls, and saying, yes, you are beautiful. Yes, you can do this. Yes, you are strong. Yes, you will overcome this. Because sometimes life is tough, and even as a little girl, it gets tough. And, we've been there. I've been there. And how are we making a difference in people's lives? Ooh, spill my coffee. How are we making a difference in people's lives? I hope this kind of triggers you guys to think a little bit about, what difference are you making, not only your lives, obviously your lives. What are you doing to get to be that woman that you wanted to be when you were a little girl? Are you that woman? If not, what do you need to be to get to that point where you are that woman? Things like that. And then the other thing, from the other perspective, obviously, are you influencing the next generation of girls? Are you making a difference in their lives? Are you equipping them and strengthening them and reminding them that they can do this? So I feel like we live in a bit of a world where there's even more, because social media wasn't a thing when I was little. The news just didn't report all this stuff. They just kind of reported about wars and battles and, things in other places. And so I feel like with social media, it's become so much more harder for these girls to hold value, and for these women even to hold value for themselves and know who they are and know that they are beautiful. So take some time to uplift your sister, not just your physical sister, but the sisters in your lives. Whether that be a coworker or a friend or a neighbor or the people in your life that need you to be that woman for them. And then find that woman for you. If you still don't have someone that you aspire to be, I honestly, I've lost my filter a little bit, Lil, believe me. I've lost my filter a little bit. The biggest difference between me and my sister growing up was that she had no filter. I would think it, but it would never get out of my mouth. And she was always like, think it out, done. It just came out. So it was funny, and I've kind of lost my filter a little bit, which is okay. But I tell my boss all the time, she's she's a nurse practitioner, and she's the vice president of the nursing department. And I've told her multiple times, I'm like, look, okay, I need you to wait till I finish my nurse practitioner, and then I'm going to take your job. And she just starts cracking up. But it's true. I aspire to be her career-wise. I aspire to be her. I aspire to get to that point where I can be the VP of nursing in a hospital, in a department. And so that is, thank you. You're working on your filter. That's funny. So we'll meet halfway, Leo. I'll give you a little bit of mine and you take a little bit of mine. Just who is that woman in your life that you're aspiring to be and working so hard to be? What do you need to get there, and what do you need to be that woman for a little girl growing up in this generation? Are you motivating somebody? Are you inspiring somebody? Are you uplifting somebody? Just a smile helps people when they're going through a situation. So I like to keep this to 15 minutes. I'm sorry I came on a little late. I will be 100. I'll be 100% honest. It was because my coffee wasn't done, and I can't go live without my coffee. It's my security blanket. So love you guys. Thank you so much. Make sure to comment below if you're watching the replay, #replay, and just leave me. What are those things that you needed in that woman as a little girl? Like I told you guys, for me, it was just being strong, having a career, and smiling. That was huge for me. Just seeing genuine smiling, genuine joy, genuine happiness. All right. Love you guys. Have a wonderful week. I will see you guys on Wednesday for Silent Wednesday. Quick and quiet. I do have some wonderful pieces. I do have just a few of my red, white, and blue pieces. So if you haven't shopped the album, shop the album, and I could probably ship it out to you and get it by Thursday today. Today's probably the cutoff because that would be 3 days. But obviously you can still buy it and use it for another time. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, and blessed week, and see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.